Welcome to Quill Sword Blogcast. Return to Greatness, Justice Edition. There's no going back to what was. That doesn't mean we can't go forward to what can be. In my opinion, America has never ceased to be great. She's always been and always will be imperfect. But there's only one nation on earth that all others immediately look to in time of need: America. Greatness is best defined by how the weakest are treated. America needs some work, but slavery days are long behind us. Jim Crow is only barely in living memory. Abortion is no longer protected by judicial edict. Yep, the old gal is getting her act together. No thanks at all to the so-called social justice warriors, who thrive on division and derision. We've still got a lot of work to do. Election reform and border control are topping the list, but they are far from the only issues we must deal with. That's okay. American can rub her tummy and pat her head at the same time. She's done it before. We can return our country to her even keel. That's not the troublesome bit. We're very much a live and let live, good neighbor sort of people. Our national inclination is to let bygones be bygones. Sometimes it's best to just forgive and forget for the sake of the Union. This is not that time. There will be calls for forgiveness and forbearance. They will be made from the same folks that gave no quarter and destroyed lives in the name of their social justice. Go right ahead and forgive, but do not forbear. Forgiveness is just the first step toward restitution. It is not itself restitution. The leftists have tried to tear this country apart to remake it in their image. They have effectively imprisoned millions in their own homes. They have stolen elections. They have lied. They have cheated. They have abused any and all faith placed in them. For that, forgiveness is not enough. There must be actual justice. Those who ran kangaroo courts must face the real thing. Agencies that subverted the Constitution must be held to account, and those responsible must face retribution. Real investigations must take the place of the shams that were perpetuated over the last 7+ years. There must be a reckoning. It's not about revenge, although the left will certainly squeal that it is. It's about reestablishing the rule of law within government herself. Without that, America will lose her footing and eventually fall. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people was born here, on these shores, with mountains high and amber waves of grain. It must not die here. If the American people lose faith in their ability to control their government, all really is lost. But we aren't there yet, not even close. People who don't think that they can make a difference don't show up on election day. We could do better, sure, but the proof is in the pudding, and our elections are still vibrant with real people casting real votes. Americans have had their faith shaken, that's true. The only thing that will rebuild their confidence is justice. Not the SJW fake stuff, but the real kind that holds the guilty to account for their crimes and shows mercy where mercy is warranted. Got caught and don't want to face the consequences does not need the false mercy of not holding them to account, but the real justice of accountability and the mercy of not being spoiled rotten and set up to fail. Yes, sometimes the greatest mercy is letting the criminal go to jail. Each case on its own merit. This is a long process, but it's the only way of making it truly just. Justice must be blind to who stands before it, but it must never be without compassion for both the victim and the criminal. Real justice is hard, but it is also essential. It's time the woke learned a little tough love. The left have used minorities for decades as a shield for their political agenda. Where they crossed the line and committed crimes, they must be held accountable. It's the only way to cure the contagion. See, if we want a future where everyone has the same opportunities, we've got to stop letting guilt over past misdeeds decide policy for new generations. So far, guilt has screwed up every time and made things worse for those it was supposedly trying to help. Social justice is a cancer. Only true justice can cure it. The surgery is gonna smart a bit, though, lefties.